Just as we celebrate with the class of 2014, we also take time at commencement to honor a select group of individuals who have passed their light on to others in extraordinary ways. Receiving such a distinction from Wittenberg is a privilege, and we are pleased this year to confer the Wittenberg Medal of Honor and honorary degrees on 3 remarkable human beings. I would now like to ask our first presenter, Ken Blod, to join me at the podium.
William H. Steinbrink, your lifelong commitments to your various communities, including Wittenberg, are inspiring. A proud member of Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, you recently marked your 50th anniversary of that association. You graduated from Wittenberg with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science in 1964 and attended Duke University Law School, earning the Juris Doctor degree in 1967, and now serve as a life member of their Board of Visitors. Please join me here. After law school, you returned to Ohio to make a home in Cleveland with your wife, Betsy, also Wittenberg class of '64, and practiced law with the firm Jones Day for 27 years. You specialized in helping improve operational fundamentals in businesses, their financing and governance. After a trial retirement, you rejoined Jones Day for several years to help implement formal knowledge management practices there. During your professional career, you also served your home community on the boards of trustees of the Cleveland Institute of Music, the Cleveland Hearing and Speech Center, and the Cleveland Botanical Garden. You also served on the board of directors of J.M. Smucker Company, Engineered Material Solutions Incorporated. You served as president and chief executive officer of CSM Industries and Laurel Industries. Most recently, you were associated with Unstuck, a firm specializing in business, legal, and family mediation services. Although impressive, as examples of what the Wittenberg graduate can attain, these aforementioned accomplishments are not the primary reason you are being awarded the Wittenberg Medal of Honor. Today, we also recognize a lifelong pattern of giving generously of your time, treasure, wisdom, and patience to Wittenberg University. Some of that patience shared with me personally, and I appreciate it. You served on Wittenberg's board for 13 years with distinction and provided leadership on the Finance Committee, 3 years as board chair, and now as an emeritus board member. You were the lead benefactor for the establishment of the Dr. Melvin H. Latch Endowment and Award in Political Science, which will help that department continue to mentor students at the standard of excellence you experienced yourself as one of Dr. Latch's students half a century ago. And finally, you served as interim president of Wittenberg University for a year, 2004-2005. You lived on campus across from Tower Residence Hall and were a daily witness to the energy college students share with their neighborhood 24/7. Perhaps not the metaphorical year of living dangerously, but I'm certain you remember the experience well. He does. As you ended your term as interim president, Wittenberg's faculty, by unanimous acclamation, formally thanked you for, and I quote directly, exemplary leadership, community spirit, and sound business acumen. They further noted your thoughtful advice and genuine concern for all constituents, and through your commitment to your alma mater, to student perspectives, and to faculty and staff concerns, have been an excellent advocate for a Wittenberg education. One of your more recent professional endeavors has been described in a way that for me summarizes your enduring talents. You offer yourself to serve others through effective listening and understanding that transforms differing points of view into new pathways forward. It is my distinct honor to present you for the Wittenberg Medal of Honor. You embody what is best about those who take full advantage of the opportunities provided by a Wittenberg education and a lifelong commitment to serving others. President Joyner, William H. Steinbrink.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of Wittenberg University, I now confer upon you the Wittenberg Medal of Honor, admitting you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereof.
Thank you very much for this recognition. I am honored and I am humbled by it. I'm humbled particularly because I know from personal experience the contributions that others who have received this award have made, and I indeed am humbled to be included in that list of people. I came to Wittenberg in 1960, and I moved up here to Myers Hall, and that began my long experience with Wittenberg. Throughout that experience, I mean this literally, I have had the support of my wife, Betsy, as Ken indicated, a Wittenberg alumnum. And I thank her for that support and continuing support that she provided herself for Wittenberg. To the students who are receiving their diplomas today, I say congratulations. When I think about students at Wittenberg, I always think to the beginning, and I think of young girls and boys, 18 years old or so, coming to this campus ready to take on the rest of life and rest of the world. Perhaps a bit too soon and perhaps a bit too eager. But while at Wittenberg, amazing things happen. Sitting with faculty for 4 years, learning how to learn, learning how to think, having other academic experiences, and then indeed personal experiences, finally you are prepared to walk out of here, lead your lives. For some of you, that will be a career immediately. For others, it will be more education to be prepared for that career. And for a few of you, it will be a little time off to think a little harder about what you're going to do with the rest of your life. I wish you well as you go forward. Wittenberg has prepared you well. And I do want you to remember as you lead your lives that Wittenberg is part of you and will always be an influence on the decisions you make. Congratulations and go for it.
Robert Andrew Hobby, today your alma mater recognizes you for your very special musical gifts, which were already evident and further nurtured when you were a student here at Wittenberg. After graduation from Wittenberg in 1985, you attended the University of Notre Dame, graduating with a master's degree in music, organ performance in 1987. Since then, you have used your gifts as an organist, performing at many hymn fests around the country. You have astounded people with your improvisations, such as the thunderclaps in your introduction to A Mighty Fortress Is Our God, which would startle everybody listening, and I've heard it right here in Weaver Chapel. You have used your creative gifts to write hundreds of compositions that have brought joy and inspiration to people across this entire United States. Your compositional talent was already clear to me when you were a sophomore at Wittenberg, taking my course in Baroque music history and counterpoint. A piece which you wrote for an assignment called An Invention, following the style of none other than Johann Sebastian Bach, was so good and so close to Bach that I used it as a model for several years after. Hobby compositions have been featured nationally on TV, on syndicated radio programs such as the Lutheran Hour and Pipe Dreams, and in concert settings at national venues such as the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., and the Meyerson Symphony Hall in Dallas, Texas. A few years ago, you mentioned to me that you had received so many commissions to write music for special events that you could not accept them all. Your compositions have been published by several excellent publishers, such as Augsburg and Morning Star, and your various collections of pieces based on hymn tunes are used by organists throughout this country. Indeed, I perform your pieces not only for Sunday worship services, but also for recitals. At one point, our choir director asked, "Is there anything Bobby Hobby writes that is not good?" And I couldn't think of anything. You're also a performer and a clinician, and are in great demand for conventions of national organizations, such as the American Guild of Organists, the Association of Lutheran Church Musicians, the Hymn Society of the United States and Canada, and the Organ Historical Society. And that is not a complete list. In addition to these achievements, you have been involved in leadership positions of several professional music organizations. Particularly important, and something that pleases me very much, is the work you have done for young musicians, from young children to teenagers, with national organizations such as Young Lutherans Sing and the Association of Lutheran Church Musicians. In 1996, you designed and coordinated a hymn festival, now hear this, that was performed simultaneously at 100 sites around the United States and Canada to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the American Association of Lutheran Church Musicians. Talk about organization. That was an amazing accomplishment. As director of music at the renowned Trinity English Lutheran Church, Fort Wayne, Indiana, you have developed their music programs so that, in addition to being responsible for many worship services, you oversee several instrumental ensembles, as well as graded choral programs and handbell choirs, which range from young children in beginning groups to very advanced groups. You manage concerts, bringing in nationally recognized musicians for performances, and you provide many opportunities for people in music ministry. In spite of your great musical talents and remarkable achievements, you have never become arrogant or unapproachable. As a student at Wittenberg, I remember not only your carrot red hair, it's a little lighter, darker now, but also your laughter and your delight when interacting with other students and with faculty. You were always a person whom others enjoyed being with, and you still are. Indeed, it is our honor that we can call you an alumnus of Wittenberg. President Joyner, Robert Andrew Hobby.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of Wittenberg University, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Music, admitting you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereof. Oops.
Donna de Verona, you exemplify the mission of Wittenberg University in your devotion to wholeness of person, global citizenship, calling, service, compassion, and integrity. Your accomplishments as a young Olympian are without a doubt most impressive, earning you gold medals and world records, and the highest honor of an Olympic order. The 1964 most outstanding woman athlete in the world. You deserve your spot in the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame and the Women's Hall of Fame. However, your work after your athletic career as an advocate for peace, inclusion, and advancement of women in athletics will be forever influential. A risk taker and an innovator, you have co-founded the Women's Sports Foundation, received an Emmy and 2 Gracies for your work as one of the very first female sportscasters, served on the Special Olympics Executive Board, and as an activist under 5 presidential commissions. You are a pioneer for the implementation of Title IX and have served on the Council for the Empowerment of Girls and Women in Sport. You have illustrated that in the true spirit of competition, with vigor and persistence, one person can make a big difference. Certainly your efforts show you to be a person who epitomizes the university's motto, having light, we pass it on to others. The light that you pass on is the light of opportunity. Opportunity that has benefited most of us here today and will continue to benefit people for many generations to come. Donna, your commitment to providing possibilities for women and other underrepresented groups, for embodying the confidence that it takes to be successful, and for using the tools of sport to open doors for so many, makes us proud to name you as a distinguished member of the Wittenberg community. President Joyner, Donna de Verona.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of Wittenberg University, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, admitting you to all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereof. It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Donna de Verona, who will present today's commencement address. An Olympic gold medalist and pioneering force, Donna has served as an inspiration to countless women and young people, as well as the athletes and colleagues with her commitment to excellence at the highest level. She embodies Wittenberg's mission in her life and work, which are both dedicated to serving beyond herself. She arrived early so she could spend time with our students and get to know our campus, and we are deeply thankful that she did. Please join me now in welcoming Donna de Verona to the podium.